different energy, different spirit. Cause I'm coming for them belts, boy. You're gonna see the wrath of the new champ. Different energy, different spirit. Coming to win. I tried to learn boxing, stick and move. Isolating the sweet science of the sport, doctrinating my style. We're going back to the raw, rugged streets. That's where I belong. I never followed no athletes growing up, no movie stars. I followed the hustlers, the Rayful Edmonds, the Jeff Paws, the Nicky Barnes, the Big Meaches, the Larry Hoovers. You understand me? They're the people.
Man, even though that crap is months old, I can't help myself, people. I can't help myself from laughing. And you shouldn't be able to hold a straight face either, man. But the witching hour is upon us, huh? Salute to everybody out there, man. Welcome to the show, man. It's the Friday night chop session with Stormybman, man. For this Friday, August 19th, 2022. This is number 164 in the series of chop sessions, man. And we're calling this one The Heavyweights Are on Deck. Man, let me just say this, man. The whole thing about boxing is, and professional sports overall, is to entertain. But sometimes we get entertainment from places where it wasn't necessarily meant to be entertaining, but it is. I don't know, man. I just can't contain it. I had said while I was going to play that, I was going to just sit here with a straight face, let it play through, and, just come on and be like, let's roll. But I couldn't help it, man. As it got down to those last couple of sentences that AJ was speaking, I couldn't hold my peace, man. I couldn't hold it. You know what I'm saying? It was like I had to break out in laughter, man. And I hope you guys got a kick out of that as well, because tomorrow he gets a chance to show the world what he's been talking about, huh? Yeah, the Nicky Barnes and the Jeff Ports, hopefully they'll be able to take it all in, huh? From Saudi, right? Because tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon for us here on the stateside, Anthony Joshua will try to regain his unified heavyweight titles against Alexander Usyk, former undisputed cruiserweight champion and now unified heavyweight champion, courtesy AJ. We're going to talk about that a little bit tonight, but I just wanted to open up with a little humor and have that bit, marinate a little bit as a lead into the show, because the heavyweights are truly on deck. There's been news, there's been updates, and boxing is about to get interesting all over again in the heavyweight division, huh? And we welcome it with open arms. We welcome it, right? I mean, I welcome it. I'm looking forward to it. The division is about to heat up in the third and fourth quarter of the year. And that's all we can ask for, really. Because, hey, man, who doesn't love a good knockout, huh? I mean, don't you guys like knockouts? I know I do. I know boxing isn't predicated on just knocking folks out. But as I've often made the comparison, it's like a home run at the baseball game. You get a chance to go see a great game, it always gets topped off nicely when the home team puts one out the park. Huh? Yeah. So hopefully we get what we're hoping for tomorrow afternoon when these two combatants face off. But let me welcome people that's in the building, man. Let me welcome some of the family. We got G5 Gabe out there with the winning team hash mark. He says, salute Sensei, Stormy B-Man, and chat family. Salute to you, brother. Who else we got out here? Antonio MMA saying salute Sensei. Sheena is out there saying salute. Stormy B-Man with those channel emojis. Thank you so much there, Sheena. Appreciate you showing everybody the way as a channel member and using the channel emojis. MPWTF is out there saying salute Sensei and chat family. Same to you, brother. Nitty G is back in the building saying salute family. Same to you. MP was laughing at the sound bites. Nitty G says, to all my people from Chicago, who is Jeff Port? Never heard of that guy, but I know who Jeff Fort is. I know, right? I know. But when somebody is, out there like AJ was, you don't want to correct him. You just want to let him flow, huh? Treat him like y'all treat Mike Tyson. How many times did Mike Tyson flub over words? Remember after Lennox humbled him and in the locker room, he was giving his interview and they said, well, Mike, what's next? He said, well, I might fade into Bolivian, huh? Remember that one? Y'all know I'm always cutting up on Mike. Mike gonna see me in person one day and bite my ear, man.
Hey, you a funny man, Stormy B man. Come here.
You know. Sheena says, float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. The hands can't hit what the eyes can't see. That's right. And that was the glorious Muhammad Ali. Yeah. Nitty G is still laughing. King Vonnie in the building said, peace, Stormy B-Man in chat, 88 Sports Talk. My man, what's good with you, 88? He says, Stormy B-Man, salute family. Salute right back to you. William Old School is out there. He says, salute my brother, Stormy B-Man, peace. Oh, and William, by the way, in the comment section on that video that you left that particular message, I handled that business. He gone. He gone. Yeah, I had a chance to do a little investigative reporting on that, William, and I figured right away that he needed to be ousted because I checked out some content, right? And within the first 2 minutes, William, he called Aki a dirty name. Not racist or nothing, but something along the lines of him not being intelligent or something, And everybody knows that Aki has a wonderful channel. Shout out to Aki TV and what he does over there. I've tuned into that brother and got information from him. He's as solid as they come. And the real people in the sport sit down and talk with him and appear on his show. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of respect there. So how could a guy come back and say, so just know this, William, I handled that business. He gone. Yeah. Yeah, Talib Cunningham in the building saying, salute my brother, salute to you. Who else we got? Because it's kind of moving now. Sheena is laughing, giving the thumbs up. Mac of the South saying, salute the Grandmaster Stormy B-Man. Salute to you. And let's see, let me take this off. I got to close this poll so I can see the screen, see my peeps out here. Renee Box Young in the building. What's good with you, Renee? Ain't seen you in a minute. Hey, Renee, we still haven't done that in the eye of the storm. I got to get you on there, brother. I haven't forgotten. It's just that a lot of things have been going on, but I got to get you on in the eye of the storm. But welcome all the same. Good to see you in the chat, man. He says, happy Friday. Same to you, brother. Macadus Mac is out there. I said that. Who else we got? Everybody else is saluting one another at the moment. Yeah. This thing is moving so iffy. Okay. Yeah, who we got here? Sheena's laughing. Williams saluting. Renee. 88 says Tyson just want a hug. And I ain't letting him get nowhere near my ears. You can forget that, bro. Because I know what he does. And he did that to my favorite fighter, too? We ain't going to have none of that. You understands me, as Anthony Joshua says. You understands me? Man, that guy is a trip. You know what? If Anthony was over here, man, in the States, man, they'd get that dude, man. They get him, man. You big goofy. They'll let him have it, bro. Yeah. Renee Box Young says, facts, Stormy B. Aki is a workhorse. William says, that's what I'm talking about, Stormy B, man. I told you I was going to. Listen, that's why. Listen, man. You just, what did I say to my comment to you, William? I said, there's plenty of rope, but what he needs to realize is there's an end to the rope, huh? And when the rope runs out, he gone. William says, I went at it with that fool a while back, Stormy B. He is a Wilder hater, and I corrected him and told him to come to Louisiana and get some. Well, see, I ain't trying to go through all of that, man. That's why you close the door and lock it. That's what you do. And that's why I got you wrenches out here, because the wrenches, you got to know how to handle that business, right? That's all. You just, click, click, Kamara is out there saying Dillian Whyte in the background getting knocked out on repeat. It's so refreshing. I know. Hey, Kamara, I had to dig that out, blow the dust off of it, right? I say, I'm going to hit them with this one tonight. Put everybody in a good mood. Stormy like to spread the cheer, spread that love a little bit. It ain't nothing like watching Dillian Whyte get decked, huh? Do you guys realize in all of his losses, he's been knocked out by the uppercut? Joshua got him first. Then Usyk, Povetkin, and then Tyson Fury. He's been knocked out by so many uppercuts, man. Somebody need to hit him with something different, huh? Yeah. This guy, he can't take an uppercut to save himself. But this one happened to be very classic. I mean, they did, they did a wonderful job in making sure that you could capture this. And then I just did a solid by putting it on loop, huh? Beautiful. It's beautiful, ain't it? Look at the stiffness of his legs as he goes down. There's no flexibility whatsoever. Do you know what that means? That was a short circuit between the brain and the feet, huh? Because the feet wanted to stay erect, but the head was going backwards, so he had no choice, huh? So therefore, rigor mortis sat in before he landed on the canvas, huh? Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Yeah. That's right. That is totally right. Man, let me tell you something. I'm having some fun tonight, y'all. This is great, huh? It's Friday. It's the chop session. This is what it is, bro. It is refreshing. Look at that, Dillian Whyte. Man, he just you know what? He hit the canvas hard. Now, people who ain't never been in a ring before, I have to tell you this. The canvas is not soft, people. It's not. Sometimes it could be a little spongy because of the padding, but it's never soft. So that's wood up under there, huh? So when he hits with that thud, you know, that's like a double concussion because he's hitting his head on the floor and everything. Huh? Yeah. That's what happened to him. That's exactly what happened to him. See who else we got in the building out here. Renee says, oh, heck yeah, Stormy. I am free Saturday, August 27th for In the Eye of the Storm if possible, OG. I'll keep that in mind. I've got some things happening, so I'll have to get together with you by email, Renee, and you send the email so I can correspond with you. So, and I'll let you know by midweek what's happening with that. Okay? Appreciate you, bro. Let's see who else we got out there. Tay is out there saying Master Sifu. And she says, I got Usyk in the 7th round. Thrill Hill in the building saying salute Stormy B. Who else we got out here? There's more. Kamara's laughing. Big Dose. What's good with you, Big Dose? He says, salute my brother Stormy B, man. And the chat. Fixing brakes on my car right now. Having some money. Saving some money, by doing it myself. Just out here listening. Hey, Big Dose. I appreciate you, bro. And let me tell you something, man. I found a new app to produce my videos. And I've added, the song track. My video themes, I got 3 different themes that I use, but the main one that I use on a regular basis came courtesy of Big Dose 513, man. That's my brother there making those music tracks for me, man. I appreciate that, man. You do great stuff, man. And I've even snuck that one, the jazz one, back in. So be listening out. You're going to hear that soon. But yeah, if you guys notice, I've been producing more videos lately. And that's been very successful. So make sure you tune in and catch those videos that I got going out there. Yeah. William says, that's how Dillian Whyte's mama used to put him to sleep at night. A straight uppercut. Man, that dude, every time he's been hit with that uppercut, that dude goes to sleep, man. He goes to sleep. That's it for him, Rockabye, baby. I should have played my little meme for that. But 88 is cracking up. Tay-Tay's cracking up. Who else we got? King Von, he says, that uppercut is nasty. Andrew Charles in the building saying, Stormy, salute. Salute to you, bro. William is saluting. Divine is out there, says, Stormy, we still doing another In the Eye of the Storm? Yes, Divine, I got to get together with you too, because there's about 3 people that I got to get together with. Renee, because it was always the intent to do one with him. Divine, I got to get you for a part 2. Then I got to get Kwee for a part 2. So it's just a matter of scheduling. I'm thinking September more than I am August, because we're already at the end of August pretty much. But those Saturday afternoons are the times that usually In the Eye of the Storm, unless it'll work better for one of you guys or ladies for the evening. You know what I mean? Then I could do it like on a Thursday. And Divine, I know we on a different time schedule and everything, with you being on the other side of the world. So that's something to take into consideration. But if it's like that time that we linked up last night for your show, the Firestorm, then that'll be what we do. Yeah. So who else we got out there? Big Dog Willie in the building saying Khan. Big Dog Willie always talking about Amir Khan, man. Ain't nobody thinking about that dude. It look like Amir Khan being knocked out right there. That Dillian Whyte. That's a great Khan imitation. Big Dog Willie don't like that. Let me be cool. But yeah, man, We are here. The heavyweights are starting to sound off again. Isn't that a lot of fun? I mean, come on, man. I know you want to see the big boys, huh? And it's been a little slow. It's been a little sluggish. And you have to say that Tyson Fury hasn't helped matters, huh? Tyson Fury being out there doing what he does, and whatever you want to call that, what he does, it's just been unfortunate that we haven't had true representation since Deontay Wilder was holding that WBC belt, because he walked like a real champion, huh? And he walked with the people, a people's champion. So those are the kind of things you kind of think about, you know what I mean, when you see. But for those of y'all who might have forgotten Dillian Whyte's most recent KO loss, here it is. I put that on loop for you too. That's when Tyson Fury gave him a little something, huh? Yeah. Let's see. Kamara says, what's worse, AJ not being able to dodge a right hand, even if he had a singing telegram telling him it was coming from Dillian Whyte, running into uppercuts even from people who ain't even throwing them. Yeah, right? You gotta say, that's it, man. Right there in a nutshell. Renee says, hey, Wilder being back, he may get a chance at that vacant WBC soon. I understand that he may be going to one of the other sanctioning bodies to compete there, Renee, and I wouldn't blame him. William says, Andrew Charles, I don't know about that, bro. I see Usyk put on a little more muscle so he can knock AJ out. My man, the singing OG is in the building. KQKC Boxing Network. He says, salute to Stormybman. Everyone hit the like button and show your love for the grind. I appreciate that, KQ, man, and I'm so glad that you're back on the mic and we'll be rocking it tomorrow. Yes, just in time. Get the singing OG back from feeling under the weather, man. So to have him on his calls. And man, we got a weekend of boxing. We got the heavyweights, huh? We got featherweights, huh? And we got welterweights. So, or should I say, junior welterweights. But it's going to be interesting the whole day, man. There's boxing from early in the afternoon until the evening. And I love it, right? And KQ going to be calling it, man. KQ, make sure you keep yourself plenty of fluids, man. Keep yourself hydrated. Make sure you do that, brother. Even if you got to take a little minute break, put that video up there and play that music, man. We'll be right there waiting for you. Come back from your rest. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the singing OG got his work cut out for him tomorrow. So just know that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hustlers Home in the building saying salute to the OGs. Salute to you. William says, Stormy B, man, I checked out Usyk's weight and you were right, but he does look more in shape than the last fight. Listen, don't forget, he was over there and his nation is under conflict, serious, tremendous conflict right now. So he ain't had time to be sitting back eating tacos and burritos like Andy Ruiz Jr. was doing going into his rematch with AJ. And y'all thought that AJ put on a boxing clinic, right? Well, you getting ready to see a real boxing clinic tomorrow, huh? And AJ is gonna see something special and feel, as Canelo would say. You better believe it. You better believe it, man. I'm telling you, huh? Yeah. Renee says, I like Plant versus Darrell in co-main for the Wilder fight too. Yeah, Plant needs to come back, man. He needs to come back and redeem himself, because I'm kind of low on him after that performance against Canelo, and that asking him, in between round and during one of the rounds, hey, I ain't bad for a guy that's 23-0, huh? It's like, what was that? What? Man, if you don't sit down somewhere, man, that was horrible. KQKC says, that's right, most definitely appreciate that. Oh yeah. Okay, got you. Some of you guys are cracking up laughing. Yeah, man. I was just trying to make sure I caught up on people saying stuff in the chat there. But yeah, talking about the weigh-in for the fight, man. This is the thing I wanted to say about that. And salute to Divine, who was over there just moments ago with his live stream breaking down the weigh-in, man. Divine, I'll tell you, man, you do some great breakdowns. And when you start picking things apart like you were doing that weigh-in with Usyk and Joshua, man, I was sitting there enjoying it. I watched it right up until it was time for me to go live. You know what I mean? So I really enjoyed that. If you guys haven't had a chance to check Divine Sense out, you got to check the brother out. He be doing some good stuff with his breakdowns. He's like he be dissecting. You know what I mean? And he did a great job on the weigh-in. How he talked about how Usyk was looking at Joshua, and Joshua was like swallowing hard and looking down and felt the intimidation, huh? Being 6'5" or 6 or whatever he is, and 240 plus pounds, Usyk was like, dude, I've had bombs dropped around me, tanks running through the homes of my people and everything. You think I'm afraid of you? And I'll tell you something, that little haircut or whatever, that's a distraction. That's to just kind of put you in a certain frame of mind. But you have to understand that Alexander Usyk is in a different frame of mind. Yeah, he's combat ready, man. And he's always shown that through his career. You know, check my video out that I did on him today. I call it The Eyes Have It. Alexander Usyk, The Eyes Have It. And I talked about that specifically for a reason. Huh? Yeah. Because sometimes people don't realize they can take things for granted and don't know that You might think the guy looks a little weird or whatever, but he has a great engaging personality. The only thing is he's not fluent in English. But even when you hear him in his interviews, he has humor, but he's not silly. And he has insight, which means he's very intelligent. Okay? And I like that about him. That's why he's so successful as a fighter. Olympic gold medalist, cruiserweight undisputed champion, and now unified champion, taking the belt away from a guy that y'all worship like a god, huh? Yeah, y'all worship him. Y'all was everybody, and people on the sneak talking about, yeah, AJ will knock Wilder out and all that. Yeah, I remember all of that, man. When he was fighting on Showtime, y'all was just banging the drums. But Eddie Hearn gave y'all an out because he didn't want to make the deal. And AJ didn't want to make the fight. And as long as he could hide behind Hearn, and Hearn would make these hurdles for Wilder, huh? Kind of similar to what they were trying to do to Devin Haney when Haney was opting to fight Kambosos. They was like, yeah, but you got to guarantee us $50 million. You know, you got to jump through this hope. You get a flat rate and all of this. No return match. All of that stuff. They was, and don't forget this, where Eddie Hearn famously said, who's Deontay Wilder? Just a guy from Alabama. Remember him saying that foolishness? And a year from then, the whole world knew who Wilder was, huh? But AJ comes to America and he shows up at an NBA game and they call him Anthony Johnson, and people see him on the street and they say, hey, do you play football? Yeah. Yep. I ain't forgot those things. It's just that I don't talk about them as much as some of the other brothers do. And as long as they do it, I sit back and listen and be enjoying it, eating popcorn, huh? and having my favorite beverage because it's true. Huh? It's true. See, we got brothers out here that keep the receipts, man. And y'all know who I'm talking about. BFTB, huh? Black Fight Fan, huh? Everybody keep them receipts, man. Drew Titan, man. And we break it out when it's necessary, huh? Yeah, when it's necessary. You ain't got to drill it all the time. That's just like I'm waiting for somebody to pull up the soundbite when Robert Garcia was like, oh, I'm not interested in training heavyweights or whatever. And then here it is 2 years later, he in AJ corner. What's up with that? Yeah. That's a soundbite that I wish I had saved because I saw it last year and I didn't take it and say, let me put this in my files. But he said it. It was before Sandor Martin whooped on his brother, Mikey, huh? Yeah. Sent Mikey to Bolivian, as Mike Tyson called it. Oh, boxing is something else, people. It's something else. If you mess up, you get sent to Bolivian, huh? I guess that's the that's like Valhalla in Thor, huh? They got a Heimdall waiting for you there. Welcome to Valhalla. I guess Dillian Whyte visited there a couple of times with those knockouts by uppercut. But they sent him back to the really real world. Hey, we had 30-something people. It dropped down to 20-something after I started talking about AJ like that. They get, this Stormybman, get the hell out of here. Where's that button that Drew Titan has? Like, 100 man! They don't want to hear it though. Huh? Man, listen. I can break the fight down for y'all. Usyk gonna whoop his ass. Good night. See y'all next week. That's right. That's right. Why should we hold on and pretend like those? Have you guys noticed? And I'm serious here. The coverage. They've had like 24/7 coverage over the past 48 hours on YouTube talking about AJ and Usyk. And it's like they're sizing this fight up from every possible angle and got all these different guys over there in Saudi, real personalities in boxing. People who flew over there to watch the fight live and everything. And they're talking about this like this is a fight like, you know, some kind of great classical matchup or something. Man, this is AJ's funeral, y'all trying to talk about. Man. And Nicky Barnes and Jeff Port ain't gonna be there to be pallbearers. Huh? They ain't gonna make it. Yeah. Man, this is hilarious. Kamara says, Anthony Johnson shaking my head. Watchers in the building saying, money. What's good with you, Watcher, man? Good to see you, bro. Antonio still laughing. Sylvester is out there saying, Stormy B, salute to you. He says, let's go. That's right. We're going to get it tomorrow, man. We're going to get it. Huh? We're going to get it. A few more of the AJ lovers have dropped off, but that's okay. Huh? That's okay. Y'all be in there tomorrow watching, you know. I think it's 1 p.m. the card starts. Don't be late, huh? Because AJ might be on the canvas in the first 30 seconds. He might be on the canvas in the first 30 seconds. So you may want to get there and have your popcorn and everything ready, huh? Because he just might not make it, huh? He just might not make it. Yeah. But let's talk about some, before we come back to the fight, because that, we'll finalize that. Let's talk about a little boxing news, huh? A little boxing news. So this weekend, we got a series of bouts, huh? We've got a series of bouts. We've got the Figueroa versus Lipinets that's coming on later in the evening on Showtime. Now, apparently, Lipinets is stepping in for AB, who pulled out earlier in the week with some issues going on, huh, in his life. Heavily spoken about, heavily documented. Not gonna go there. But what I will say is it'll be nice for the young man to get some things going for his life and get back on track. Because in the ring, he has been a talent. He has been box office. And I'm not saying that from the standpoint of allowing the PTB to make money off of him. I'm just talking about the fact that he's a talent in the sport and one that you want to see do his thing, huh? You don't want to see the sport be without a fighter like AB. AB does great things when he's boxing. He's a great soundbite. Sometimes he's good box office as far as getting you to tune in. But and when he decides to fight, he's one of the best in the world. So I wish the best for AB. I really do. I wish the best for him. But yeah, so Lipinets and Figueroa will get it on Saturday night on Showtime. And it's going to be interesting because apparently they had Lipinets on the hook. They kind of felt like AB might not make it. And that's probably due to people, the words out of the camps. They saw what kind of condition he was in and everything. And they were prepared. Insurance, so to speak. And I guess that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing because Omar is going to still get a chance to fight. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, for him, that's good. Sheena's asking, Stormy, why are so many people against AJ? I don't think that there are so many people against AJ, but I do believe that AJ brings a lot on himself, Sheena and chat. I believe that with the way he expresses himself, things that he talks about and does, it's like he's a walking contradiction at sometimes. And then he hasn't really stepped up to the plate in the ring to really display his wares in a manner of which people can get confident behind him. I mean, losing to Andy Ruiz Jr., that really shattered a lot about him, huh? And it was the way he lost that fight. And also the way he fought the rematch when they faced each other. Because a woefully out of shape Ruiz he didn't even try to take the fight to Ruiz to get him up out of there or whatever. He just played from the outside, dodgeball, staying out of reach and all of that. And Andy couldn't catch up to him. So, yeah. And like I said, those soundbite, like I opened the show up with tonight, people don't want to hear those kind of things. Just fight, man. And then lastly, people are against him, Sheena, because did you see that video of him trying to do the electric slide? That alone will make all the folks in America, the black folks especially, be like, man, later for this dude. That was worse than him riding. No, it wasn't worse, but almost as bad as him riding around in that golf cart with orangutans. Listen, those two things, ruining the electric slide for everyone and riding around in a golf cart full of orangutans, you make the judgment call on that. I'll listen. William says, hopefully AB gets the help he needs so that maybe he can make a comeback one day. Yeah, maybe. But, yeah. Now, there's another fight on Saturday night, and no one's talking about this one too much, but that's the one between Navarrete and Baez. Now, this fight here, listen, I heard BFTB talking about it a little bit, and, it's one of those situations where Navarrete is being put in a great position facing guys that they know he can beat, okay? They know this already. And they're going to continue to market that. That's Bob Arum right there doing that. But Eduardo Baez, the guy has 25 fights and 7 KOs. Okay? So he is not going to knock out Navarrete. He's 5'9" with a 70-inch reach. And his last few fights, he's had some decisions and a couple of KOs, but against fighters that weren't really his match. But Navarrete, everyone knows he's 5'7", but he's got a 72-inch reach. He's 35-1 with 29 KOs. He has faced some fighters that have given him, the opportunity to look very good. His most impressive wins came over Usyk Dogboe in 2018 and 2019. They fought a rematch. And the first fight, he scored a unanimous decision over Usyk. The second fight, he got a TKO victory in the 12th round, but that fight could have been stopped earlier because Dogboe was really taking a pounding in that fight, and his dad would not pull the trigger and stop the fight. So some things could be said, but Navarrete, he's fighting a lot of guys that his advantages, his reach, his ability to be able to punch in close, guys who can't get away from him or give him the type of movement that's necessary. I wouldn't mind some point in the future seeing a third fight between he and Dogboe, because Dogboe is learning how to box more and not stand for the receipts. Joet Gonzalez was a great challenge for him, but he got a unanimous decision over Gonzalez, and that was in October of last year. But we'll see, because this is the WBO featherweight championship that they're fighting for, And Top Rank is not trying to put Navarrete in there with Shakur Stevenson anytime soon. You can believe that, people. You can take that to the bank. Take it to the bank. You know. But in the Lipinets fight, you know, Lipinets is coming in with that record of 16-2 and 1 draw with 12 KOs. But Lipinets is kind of, you know, getting up there. Even in BoxRec, they don't show what his age is, so they could be lying there. He suffered a 6-round KO loss to Jaron Ennis in April of last year, and that was his last fight. So he's had almost a little over a year off. We'll see what he has to offer when he comes in against Figueroa. And Figueroa hasn't been banging the lights out himself. You know, his last fight was in May of last year, and against Abel Ramos. He lost a 6-round retirement. He stopped in the corner after round 6, you know. So this is going to be an interesting fight for him. Now, we do understand that there was conversation leading up to this fight about Figueroa and the demons that he's been battling, you know, outside of the sport of boxing. So you have to look at these things, you know, and take them into consideration when the fight happens. If a guy is having some issues and problems and stuff like that, and it could be a little bit tough to deal with, you know, it could affect him in his performance in the boxing ring. So those are the kind of things you have to bear in mind too when you're trying to pick a fight and who might win and things of that nature. Going back to the chat real quick, Sheena's laughing. She says, I'm weak. PGH Big Dog in the building saying, salute Stormy B, man. And the rest of you guys are saluting one another again. Yeah. So, you know, I just want to say that that's important, you know. It's important that a fighter be focused. It's just like some news has come down the pipeline about Jamal Charlo, you know, and I'm not going to go into that. I know Blue Blood was doing a live and he was talking about that a little earlier this evening. It's rough, man, especially in this era of social media when people can just, like, you know, be exploitive and everything like that. So, you know, keep it boxing, I say, you know. But, you know, hope things work out for Charlo as well. But, yeah, you got to be on top of those things. Let's see here. Another fight that's on the horizon coming up Sunday, September 4th. The heavyweights. Andy Ruiz Jr. taking on Luis King Kong Ortiz. This is a good boxing match, man. A good boxing match. But I do believe Ruiz is going to be in trouble. And that's okay, because King Kong is probably the 3rd best heavyweight in the world. And it probably gave him a shot in the arm that Deontay Wilder visited his gym this week. You know, Deontay is back in boxing, so he's making the rounds, he's doing interviews and things of that nature. Hey, we always said that Deontay was the face of boxing, right? And notice how the people have just gravitated. The sport has like perked up since he gave the announcement that he was going to come back and he's going to take on, you know, Robert Helenius in October 15th. I think they said that that fight will take place, and we look forward to it, huh? We look forward to it. Yeah. But getting back to Ruiz and Ortiz, a good matchup because you have a basic boxer, which is Andy Ruiz. Fast hands, good combinations. Taking on a southpaw puncher boxer. King Kong can still box, though he had some difficulty against Prince Charles Martin. Now, Ruiz is not as big a man as Prince Charles Martin, but he presents a different set of problems with his fast hands. So if King Kong can handle that, it's going to be interesting. Because I don't think that Andy is a quitter. Andy will fight. When he got dropped by Chris Arreola in their fight, it was like, whoa, you know, but he got up and fought back, and he managed to ink out a decision there. Arreola was never able to get him in that kind of trouble again, which means that Andy was smart enough to avoid danger for the rest of the fight. William says, Stormybman, I ate the best pizza I ever had in my life. My friend's grandmother just moved here from Italy, and she sent me a pizza. I'm still licking my fingers from last night. Now, William, what you ain't gonna do is turn this into a food fest, because you know Stormy likes to talk about food. I'm a foodie, bro. Huh? And just because I'm talking about the heavies don't mean you gotta talk about what's going in the bellies. Huh? You ain't gotta do that, bro. Sidetracking. We'll save it for Dining Dish, huh? With William telling us about the pizza from Italy, huh? Yeah. JC in the building saying, my sensei in chat, what's good with you, JC? And William's laughing. Yeah, man. Gonna talk about some food, man. Hey, I had some vegetable fried rice and some baked chicken earlier, man. That was off the chain. Y'all know Stormy like to eat, man. Like to eat, huh? Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think that this is going to be a quality matchup because Ortiz is going to be trying to line up that left hand, but he's got a strong right hook too, and uppercut. So we'll see. We'll see. Andy may try to run the numbers and get out of there, which I would advise that. That's the kind of the thing to do. Run those numbers and get on up out of there. Huh? That's how you handle that. But yeah. There was also an announcement this week that on the undercard for Wilder and Helenius, Caleb Plant will be coming back against Anthony Durrell. That's a good fight for the two of these guys. Good fight. But Durrell, they've been trying to age him out too. Kind of a lot like King Kong, because Durrell can box. A lot better than his brother, I think. But with Caleb not having a devastating punch, Durrell may be able to do some things in there with Caleb. But at the age that he is, that's the thing you have to worry about. Is he starting to finally slow down, and then a young fighter like Caleb can take advantage of his youthfulness? That's something to think about, you know, when that fight comes around. But we've got a ways before that fight kicks off, so just talking about it now is not necessarily the thing we want to do as far as a breakdown, but it was announced this week. So, but there was also something else from earlier where we got a chance for my man Deontay, the Bronze Bomber, huh? where he did his interview. And let me see. Did I put that in there? Oh, wow. Did I? Let me double check something, people. Let me double check. Because I may not have even uploaded it. Let's see. Yeah, give me 1 second, people, and I'll see if I can grab this for you. Because I wanted to comment on this. Let's see here. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to put this up here for you guys. Let's see here. Trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this, people. 1 second. This that way you guys will know. Just bear with me, people. Just bear with me 1 second. You know, I'm kind of I was supposed to have this uploaded before I went live, and I forgot to do it. So, once again, the old man is kicking in me. Be forgetful sometimes. Let's see. So, let's see here. We can try to get it going like this.
Changes in the heavyweight fight with Usyk and Joshua.
What you mean changes?
Like, you think it'll go back to Joshua as in the titles, or?
I'm going with Usyk in this fight. I've said that after that fight, I'm sticking with my word on this fight. You know, Usyk, he's just when you look at it, he just look even more confident, more so ever now. And you know, when you look at Joshua, it just looked like a different man or something. He looked like more broken than anything. Maybe it's him getting used to not having the titles. Now it's the tables have turned and stuff like that. Because sometimes when you have it so long and the tables turn, it's like you gotta adjust and get used to that. You know, when you're used to something else.
This is Deontay talking about what's happening.
Changes in the heavyweight fight with Usyk and Joshua.
What you mean changes?
Like, you think it'll go back to Joshua as in the titles, or?
I'm going with Usyk in this fight. I've said that after that fight, I'm sticking with my word on this fight. You know, Usyk, he's just when you look at it, he just look even more confident, more so ever now. And you know, when you look at Joshua, he just looked like a different man or something. He looked like more broken than anything. Maybe it's him getting used to not having the titles. Now it's the tables have turned and stuff like that. Because sometimes when you have it so long and the tables turn, it's like you gotta adjust and get used to that. You know, when you're used to something else. I mean, but who knows though? It's just my opinion about things.
Maybe it's relieving the pressure. He don't gotta be the champ.
Yeah, maybe it could be the pressure. You don't have to be the champion. Just being himself. I've seen a lot of, people have told me about certain things about what he's been doing outside of the ring, running in people's homes and shit like that.
Punking college kids. Yeah.
It's crazy, like every time somebody do something, especially a fight or whatever, somebody call you or whatever, you just hear about it. Like it's just a big family, like at the end of the day. If you don't know this person, somebody knows somebody, and it's always entertaining and exciting. But who knows? We're gonna see the fight Saturday. Saturday, so we'll see. I'm going with Usyk, like I've picked before, so I think I'm gonna stick with that. And once that happens, I think there's a lot of things in the future, like a unification bout as well. So.
But it is a difference in mentality between you and Joshua, right? Like you were talking about back in blood for your rematch, and he's being the gentleman, that's a difference in mentality, right, Deontay?
Well, you have to have different mentalities. We all are different. We all are different fighters, so we come from different places. So when you're coming from different places, you build a different mentality, a certain ways, a certain approach. For me, people know, especially at this time, that I say what I mean what I say. And I'ma always go out, like a warrior. And I say it again, I know a lot of people don't like to hear the language of kill and stuff, but you gotta understand the business that we're in. Once people let that narrow mind go and drop down to the ground and open up their heart and their mind and understand that this is a business that we're looking at. When you get in here, these guys getting hit in the fucking face, in the head. You can ask any doctor around and tell you the head is not meant to be hit in the first place. So what do you think? Guys gonna come with mental illness or sometimes we have PTSD and even other things serious than that. You know what I mean? I advise all fighters after a fight to go get tests done, go get blood work done, go get MRIs done. That's very important because you may be dealing with something that you don't even know, and it just feels normal to you right now. But internally, you got something going on and shit like that. And I made a vow to myself that after certain fights, after every fight, I'm gonna do the same. So I'm leading by example. Because you can't have certain things going on that you have no clue that was going on, and you'll be surprised when you think you feel healthy and you think you're living life, you don't feel nothing. You know, my body's good until the results of the test tell you something else. Especially when you've been in here where you have to break yourself down. And camp is the hardest shit because we break all our body down in camp. So when we get in the fight, that's like the easy part. At least it's supposed to be, depending on your opponent and what he's done in his camp. And then hoping y'all don't get beat up too bad, beating each other up too bad. But at the end of the day, it's nothing good coming out of the ring, because especially if you done took punishment and punishment, what's gonna come good from it? Nothing. What the money are they getting paid? Well, not enough. Because a lot of the fighters ain't getting paid enough. Let me stop. It's a business, understand? Because I've been trying to teach these guys. And they've been hearing it many times. The secret to it is to invest. Not just already have your check spent before you even get the check. And every time, you got to know how to save. You got to know how to be disciplined in that. Just like discipline in training, doing certain things, you got to be disciplined with your finances as well, too. And that's the only way you're going to be able to make it out of this business. Because we get money so it comes all at once. You know what I mean? Cash, you know what I mean? A lot of guys get it cash, checks, whatever. You make whatever is set up for them.
So this is what you're doing is a legacy move because you want to come back and become champion again, you know, and pretty much have another reign somewhere.
Yeah, we're gonna have another reign, and you know, my ultimate thing is that I'm proud to say that I don't have to ever come back to the business of boxing again. You know what I mean? I make more money outside the ring than in. It'll be hard for a lot of people to understand, like, how. Trust me, I know. Even my own management didn't understand. And they know what I get at fights. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm a private guy. It's just like outside of boxing, nobody hear of me, see of me. I go in my own purpose, on reason. You know what I mean? My wife, she attend more boxing shows and watch it more than I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm a Renaissance man. I do a lot of stuff.
For real?
For real, she's going. I do a lot of different things. And as you can see, if y'all ain't went and got that single, every time go get the copy of it. It's pretty cool.
You know, this man, you see why it's not an understatement to say he was the face of boxing being around. You know, his little year off from the sport and everything after the loss to Fury, you now see, just listening to him in the interview, what's missing. This man is speaking not only from the heart, but he's speaking from a point and position of intelligence, a level of intellect that you have to acknowledge. This is what they did not want. They wanted to take that from you, because a little bit of sensibility will go a long way in life. Did you just hear him speak about how fighters should regularly take it upon themselves to get themselves checked out because they're being punched in the face for a living? And you cannot deny that there has to be some type of traumatic outcome from this profession. And he just said a lot of the damage happens in the gym. The fight part is easy. That's one night for scheduled 12 rounds. But some guys have sparred 200 rounds in camp. 200 rounds. So you're getting banged up against the head and everything every day, several times a week. And guys don't go to the doctor after the gym sessions. They go home, get in the tub of ice or something and cool themselves down and get ready for it the next day. This is what I'm talking about. And he's saying it from a point like he doesn't think he's better than anyone. He's just like, I try to teach these guys. I try to because he has the knowledge of that. God has blessed him with that. You know what I'm saying? And that's heart. That comes from a real solid place. Do you guys remember AJ calling Lennox Lewis a clown? Do you recall that? When Lennox was telling him or suggesting that he may want to come to the U.S. to fight and also to learn something from the U.S. gyms, the teachers here. Because there's a different climate, it's a different culture when it comes down to the sport of boxing. Lennox took off after joining the alliance with Emanuel Stewart and Kronk. So did Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko. But because it seemingly came across as how some trolling fans say, oh, Lennox is a hater. Hating what? The man retired the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world and literally defeated every man that he faced in the ring. But you want to put that down because he's trying to share with you some tidbits that can help you advance in your career. Yes. William said, I saw that video when Wilder and King Kong Ortiz saw each other and hugged it out. That was a great moment. Two guys beat the hell out of each other and still have love for each other. I talked about that last night on Divine's show as well. I talked about it because that's where sometimes when you have professional fighters who really truly become friends, it's the guys who fought each other. Yeah. Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran are friends today. So are Ray and Tommy Hearns. Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe. Men who fought like bats out of hell, competing against one another. Luis King Kong Ortiz and Deontay Wilder had two tremendous fights, and it looked like Ortiz had an advantage in both times around and ended up getting knocked out. The second fight, Luis King Kong, he wanted to cry because he knew he was winning that fight. And out of nowhere, boom, Deontay turned the lights out on him, which can happen in boxing. But you're right, William, to see the guys embracing each other in a loving manner. And don't forget, they share some similar things in their lives. King Kong has a sick daughter. Deontay had a sick daughter. Deontay gave the man a couple of well-deserved paydays. No one else wanted to do that. There was a time when Ernie Shaver's mom needed an operation. And as a heavyweight contender, he was a knockout artist. Similar to Deontay, had a big punch. Ernie Shavers would get you out of there. As long as you didn't get you didn't get him past 6 rounds, because after 6 rounds he tapped out. But Ali gave Shavers a shot at the title for a payday to help his mom out. Those are the kind of things that when you tell these type of stories, people, they mean so much. That's a true brother. That's a true friend that's helping you. He ain't giving it to you out of his pocket, but he's allowing you the dignity to earn it. And if you happen to beat him, it's like that's extra, right? Anthony Joshua's people signed Luis King Kong Ortiz to their promotional group and put him on the shelf because at the time he was in position to challenge for one of the titles that AJ had in his possession. And rather than face the man, which was AJ's obligation because he was a mandatory, they put him on the shelf. And then when King Kong popped dirty for a banned substance that turned out to be blood pressure medicine, AJ's people brought the riot act to make sure he got suspended so they wouldn't have to face him. But y'all signed the guy. But you signed him to stop his momentum. You signed him to keep him out of the graces of a title that you were trying to hold and control the division with. In his last 4 fights, AJ is 2-2. This man has brought it in so many ways. From the political social spectrum, he has said some things that shows what type of character and resolve he has as a man. Lead by example. In the boxing ring, he's tried to school and educate people. He was trying to share with AJ the significance of being independent. And AJ went right back into the graces of the Hearns and Matchroom family and told them everything that Deontay spoke to him about behind the scenes. And they doubled down on making certain that they wouldn't make that fight. Turncoat. AJ loved those people more than he loved himself, and that will always be his downfall. So maybe subliminally and psychologically, he won't beat Usyk. Maybe he hates himself too much. That's a hell of a thought, isn't it? Maybe he prefers to ride around in a golf cart full of orangutans instead of rolling with the likes of this man right here, being a real soldier, a real warrior. You see the love that took place, like William said, between Wilder and King Kong. And King Kong can't even speak English, man. But he got his face lit up like a Christmas tree when he saw Wilder. And they embraced each other. He gave that man an opportunity to do for his family. Because in this sport, each time you go through those ropes, that could be your last time. And these are the type of points that you make when you're setting an example. So just hearing Wilder say the things that he's saying, this is what's been missing from the sport. This is what's been missing. Salute to my brother Drew Titan out there in the chat. I see you out there, Drew. I was just cooking a little bit, but I wasn't ignoring you. William says, oh yeah, I didn't agree with that at all. Lewis was just trying to help AJ. Yeah, absolutely. D was trying to help AJ. And he went and told the people, boss, he trying to tell me to take these chains off. He even told me how to pick the lock. But I didn't want to listen to him, boss. Shall I go get a rope, boss? though the bondage is no longer physical, the constraints are embedded in the psyche, the mental. To some degrees, irreparable. When you're free, you're free. When you're bound, the heavyweights are on deck, people. They're on deck. And the Bronze Bomber is back. Let's listen to a little bit more.
Just to the boxing, man. You said you expect Usyk to win this again. You and him, him with all the feinting and moving his hands in and out, but could you line him up for that right hand and take him out?
I mean, anyone could be.
Would you want to fight him with?
Anyone could be lined up for it, Certain people are more trickier than others, more smoother than others. Some is more symplectic than others. But, eventually when you do it right, and all can be lined up. But with me, everybody coming in thinking that right hand, so it's going to be a lot of hiding it. It's surprise. Surprise! But with that surprise, they're going to touch you. So, that's why I love this business when you meeting guys, because it's hard to really build a relationship with guys, because a lot of guys stereotype certain things and they get in their head, thinking certain things that I can't get close to fighting because one day I may fight him and stuff like that. So, but with me, it ain't really about that so much. I don't have too many relationships with these guys, but I do have a few relationships, and that's good.
Speaking of that, it might be a relationship that you've shown a lot of love to both. Like, you may get in the ring with either one. Maybe it's that possibly Ruiz or Ortiz. Greek, is that?
Oh, that could very well happen. You know what I mean? I love that guy, man. We done built, fighting a person can make a relationship a strong bond, a brotherhood, if it's done right. And if it's for the great intentions of good, and giving him the opportunity, man, it's an amazing feeling for me to be able to say I helped him in a time of need with his family and his daughter, because I can relate to him and his daughter, maybe not in the same way, but in a different situation. And being able to say, I gave this man an opportunity. I didn't have to. He wasn't my mandatory, or he wasn't lining up to fight me. I only gave it because I saw all the fighters ducking him and didn't want to fight him and made excuses about so fucking what? He's in this business to fight. That age don't mean nothing.
Beat his old ass.
Damn, he beat his old ass. Give him a try. You know what I mean? Because if we didn't know how old we were, then how would you feel? What if we didn't understand? Then we had to keep up and knew how old we were. Then how would people feel? You're as young as you feel. Then you feel me? A blessing.
Man, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. And he finished that off perfectly. You know what I'm saying? But those are the kind of things, again, when you have, it was always a pleasure to sit down and listen to Ali talk. He was every bit as entertaining and engaging outside of the ring as he was inside of the ring. That's why I said that this man channels that spirit, that people's champion spirit. You can't take that away from him. You can strip titles, you can cheat, you can do all kinds of things, but you cannot take away the integrity that is reflected, because that's a light, that's an anointing. As he said, his grandma said, he was anointed. That's something that has been placed there that no man can take away. No man. to hear him express and speak to the public like he does, there's nothing but sincerity there and a lot of facts. Some people will never get it. Some people will never get it, and that's okay, because everybody ain't gonna make it. They're not. There are those who are going to be on the outside because that's where they belong. Yeah. You know, I didn't have to see the interview to know where he was coming from. But I knew where he was coming from the entire time, if that makes any sense. Trying to get I got a little bit more for you here. And this is what he had to say about Tyson Fury, man. Check this out.
His first trade is inventing.
Man, many
Like a lot of great
man,
trainers.
for real. That's
a lot
for
of
real.
great trainers work with their hands
for real.
outside of boxing, right?
For real.
But Deontay, man, we heard you talking about taking another run at becoming unified, one face in the division. You're still number one for the WBC. Do you think Fury is serious about retiring and vacating that belt? What do you think of all that?
Yeah, I think he's gonna have to retire. You know what I mean? He's gonna have to retire. So
Legal issues?
Yeah, he got a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm not gonna even get into it, but it's looking like he's gonna have to. And once that happened, then anything, all things is up for grabs. I can't give too much information out. I don't really want to discuss it, but it's gonna be a lot of changes in the division, a lot of opportunities, and a lot of different things lined up. So stay tuned.
Do you think there'll be any changes in the heavyweight fight with Usyk and Joshua?
What you mean changes?
Like, you think it'll go back to Joshua as in the titles, or?
I'm going with Usyk in this fight. I've said that after that fight, I'm sticking with my word on this fight.
See? That's just simply put. Shout out to Fight Hype for the interview with Deontay that they put up. And you can go right on over there to fighthop.com and get all of that interview and good stuff with Deontay Wilder as he visited Luis King Kong Ortiz's gym. There's much more footage than that, but I just thought I would bring some of those points in to talk about because I felt it appropriate for my message for tonight's show. But salute to them for the work that they do and how they take the time out and they speak to people with respect and everything. And salute to the champ for making himself accessible, you know, because that's all a part of it, making yourself available to the people. And Wilder has definitely done that. So, but salute to all of you out there, you know, who are tuned in. And if you didn't get a chance to see that, you know, go on over there and check it out. And, you know that it's great to have him back from that point, if no other, to be a presence and be a voice. And did you hear him stop himself? He's like, let me shut up, you know, because he's so real that he will go in, you know. He'll go in and he'll explain things. He'll talk about things. He'll touch on things. And, you know, he knows now to kind of hold back a little bit, but he's not going to hold back too much because he's real with his. He's real with it. And that's all you want. You know what I mean? No ducking, no hiding. Right there in the open, man. Right there in the open. That's right, William. But you know, we're living in these times. This is not 30 years ago. 30 years ago, people would have Wilder on T-shirts and everything, making songs about him and putting him in their music videos and everything. You know how it went. Today, the real definition of a hater is a person that want to put someone like him down. All he's trying to do is lift people up. Could you imagine Ali today? How he would be received? That's why, William, I embrace my age, man, because if I were part of the newer generation, I don't know how much I could take it. Don't know. Yeah. So, lastly, let's give this final walkthrough of the big fight for tomorrow afternoon. Alexander Usyk taking on Anthony Joshua for the Unified Heavyweight Championship of the World, the IBO, the IBF, the WBA, and WBO titles. I think Usyk solved the puzzle that was Anthony Joshua in the third quarter of their fight, the first go round. And I do believe that in this rematch, AJ is probably going to go out there and try to jump him early, because his best chance is early when he's strong, not winded, hasn't been put in a position to have to strategize and think. But remember, going into the first fight, that probably was supposed to be the game plan. And Usyk was prepared for that. So just because it didn't happen doesn't mean that Usyk wouldn't be prepared for it this go round. It wouldn't surprise me if Usyk purposely gave away some early rounds tactically, strategically, to wear AJ down physically and then to work on him psychologically. Divine Sense made some tremendous points when you're talking about how Usyk looked into AJ's eyes and was fixed on him the entire time, never wavering, never looking askance, just looking into his soul, so to speak. And I think he saw something there. And what he saw wasn't something of frightening proportions. It was like, I got the jump on this kid. I got the bead on him. So it's like, and AJ, remember, has never beaten a top elite fighter. And even though Usyk is coming up from the cruiserweight division, that's exactly what he is. Usyk's a better fighter. He's a smaller man, but he's got big fight in him. And I believe if it came down to something where he had to go for it, he's capable of doing that as well. But could AJ go for it? Do you remember that one night in Madison Square Garden against Andy Ruiz Jr.? Do you remember his performance? When the going got tough, he spit his mouthpiece out, stood up and walked away from the ref. The ref asked him, "You okay? You okay? You ready to go?" He just stood there looking at the ref. The ref waved the fight off and he's like, "What? What?" Non-compliant. It makes a difference when you have talent. You have aspiration, you have inspiration, you have motivation. I think Usyk has plenty of that. Now, how does AJ win this fight? He is the bigger, stronger guy. Being as big as he is, he should be able at some point to put some hurt on Usyk. At 35, Usyk is the older of the two. And to put it in a perspective for you, AJ, who's 32, Muhammad Ali was 32 when he beat George Foreman in Zaire. Yeah. So he has a chance physically because of his physical presence. He has a chance in that. It wouldn't be surprised if he caught Usyk with something that really hurt Usyk and he went down from just taking a damaging shot from a bigger guy like that. Evander went down from Riddick Bowe. But if Usyk is motivated, inspired by country and honor and things of that nature, or just championship caliber desire, that's something that AJ can't compete with, because he's always been doubtful of himself and his own abilities. So it's not a cakewalk for him. It's not a cakewalk. So this is one of those fights where it's literally for AJ, he has the puncher's, the proverbial puncher's chance. I don't expect him to outbox Usyk. Not in the least. Not on your life. And the longer the fight goes, the greater the chances for Usyk victory. But that does not mean that Usyk can't win inside of the distance. Due to AJ not being supremely confident, not being mentally strong. If Usyk hurts him early with anything, doubt creeps in. Then he begins to wonder like, oh boy, here we go. Can I do it? War is hell. And this is a heavyweight championship fight. It's not war. Usyk has faced that. And his brethren, his countrymen who are still going through, encouraged him to go here and fight for country and man and freedom. It's going to be hard to beat, man. It's going to be hard to beat. People make fun of the fact that Usyk lost to Sean Porter in the amateurs. So many years ago. How small was he? He was still a growing boy. Sean Porter is nowhere near a heavyweight, right? That's like if somebody was beating you on the playground when you were 14, 15, 16 years old. And as a 32-year-old man, you're able to dunk and everything, and it's like, oh, that's not the little boy that I used to be. Huh? It makes a difference. Williams says AJ lost his confidence in the first Ruiz fight. He couldn't believe that he lost to a little fat guy. Since then, you can see the doubt in the way he fights. Yeah. 1,000. William. 1,000. And doesn't that make a difference? When you talk like that, when you see or witness that, it makes a difference. Some people have no idea how this thing works, man. But that's exactly how it works. It's a mental game, yet physical, yet fierce, violent. Mm-hmm. But I want to thank you all for tuning in this evening. It's been a great show. We've had some laughs. We've covered some serious things about the fights. I hope that you guys get a chance to watch as many fights tomorrow as you can. I know everyone will be tuning in for this one. And myself, I can't wait. A full day of boxing. But it's going to be interesting. I really can't wait. There will be a post-fight. I'm not sure how much of what I will cover on the post-fight. Maybe the majority of the post-fight will be for the Usyk and Joshua card. And then the call-in show for Sunday will cover the other bouts for Top Rank and Showtime. That way, we can spread it out for content-wise. But nonetheless, I hope everyone enjoys the matches. It's great to see Deontay Wilder back. That's very exciting. It's great to hear him talk, you know. For those of you who are out there peeping through the blinds and everything, and you could at least smash the like button, man. It says that I had 55, sat on that number for a while, but people were coming in and out. The poll, it says, who do you have with AJ versus Usyk? 25% said AJ, 59% said Usyk, 16% says somebody getting knocked the F out. Hey man, this is how we do it. Yeah, William, it was a great show. And I thank you all, man, for participating, for being a part of it. For those who support me on the regular, man, it's outstanding to have you guys here with me. It says we had over 200 and something people in here tonight, which is great. That's great. One of these days, the real ones will come out of the woodwork and just finally let their hair down and say, hey, Stormy, I've been here the whole time. You know, if not, in the words of Conan the Barbarian, no, I'm not going to say it. I'm trying to walk a different path. But peace to everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the fights. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And we are gone. See you guys tomorrow.